Are white supremacist jokes and memes a threat to black people? Coming right up.
We have to view every so-called joke or meme that is put out there by a white supremacist as a coded message and a potential threat on the lives of black people. We always have to view it that way. We have seen it time and time again that their so-called jokes and their so-called memes are preludes to white supremacist murder sprees that's been happening like that for years. Dylan Roof, so-called jokes and memes. Payton Gendron, so-called jokes and memes. Ethan Crumbley, all of the ones that have done things, it always starts off as so-called jokes and memes. When they use free speech, the white supremacists, they want so-called free speech because they want to say their, coded words of attack against black people. You got to pay attention to the speech of the white supremacists. It's a threat to our lives.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logical Reasons. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So that was Phill Scott. If you're unfamiliar with him, he's a pro-black YouTuber, one of these YouTubers that are always crying about the pro-black this, the pro-black that. They're telling black people that they're victims of Foundation of Black Americans, FBAs, or I would say FBAVs, Foundation of Black American Victims, because they always manage to be victims about everything. But he's always telling black people that they're victims in America, they're always white supremacy, while they are doing well themselves. So this is typical for the pro-blacks. And it's sad that black people keep listening to this nonsense. You think that at some point in time that black people will wake up and see, well, wait a minute, why are you telling me that I'm oppressed when you're doing well for yourself? Right? Then he has his channel, African Dysphoria Network channel, news, whatever. I just find it amazing that all these blacks in America, these foundational black Americans, are always going on about the Africanism, Africano, African, Pan-Africanism with Dr. Umar Johnson, all this Africanism. Meanwhile, black people from Africa, they come to America and they assimilate into American culture as quick as they possibly can. Not to say that they lose their heritage or nothing like that, but they take advantage of the opportunities here that black people, for some reason, just refuse to take advantage of. We prefer, the foundation of black Americans prefer to keep crying about what America did in the past. Even though it's still not happening anymore, it's not affecting and stopping anybody anymore, but let's still keep crying about it and using this as an excuse. Now, he, in his video, made this claim that white supremacists, jokes, and memes are a threat to blacks. Now, of course, this is not based on anything other than race hustling. That's all it's based on. There's no evidence to show that all these white folks, these white supremacists, are out here hunting black people in mass every day. There's no evidence to show this. The numbers do not show that black people, white supremacists are a threat to us. There's no evidence to show this, but they keep believing and pushing this nonsense because they know race hustling is a drug, and they have to keep black folks addicted, so they have to keep pushing racism to the blacks. Meanwhile, he's not worried about the jokes and memes from N-words, from ninjas. Those people who are responsible for the overwhelming majority of all the murders committed by blacks in America, despite they can't possibly be no more than 2% of black people at the most. But yet they're responsible for the overwhelming majority of that, more than half of murders that are committed by blacks, and you worry about white supremacists. That's dumb. That's right there is pure race hustling. Nothing but race hustling involved in that to keep black people stuck on stupid. Then he starts to go on about how white supremacists, they love to keep going on about white supremacists. White supremacists use free speech to try to attack and hurt blacks. Again, based on what other than race hustling? There's absolute zero evidence to show that all these blacks are being harmed in America because of free speech from white supremacists. Maybe the white leftists, Antifa, all these people on the left that keep telling black folks that they're victims and keep feeding black people nonsense, but white conservative, no. But once again, Phill Scott is not worried about free speech of N-words. It's amazing the fact that we got to keep sitting up here saying N-words, or people also say ninjas. But you can't say the actual thing because it affects the algorithm. Meanwhile, you can say it in rap music, I guess, because it's quote-unquote art. And I guarantee you, we see multiple different videos of black people saying N-word this, N-word that. But somehow, if conservatives say it, it's a problem. Then he goes on, try to find 3 examples to try to prove his point. He brings up Dylan Roof and Payton Gendron and Ethan Crumbley. Now, Dylan Roof, I'm pretty sure everybody knew him. He was the white guy that shot at black people, killed 9 black people in the church in South Carolina. They invited him to a Bible study. He walked in the church, and about an hour later, he was walking out of there. So apparently he went in there with the intent to kill black people. Well, he was sentenced to death. But now I would say that there's a lot more to say for all these blacks who killing and shooting each other in the streets of our community, who gets away with it because they can't never find a killer. But let's not worry about that. Let's not worry about Chirac, Chicago. No. Then he brings up Payton Gendron. Now Payton Gendron was the gentleman who committed the Buffalo shooting. Again, who's supporting this guy? I don't support this guy. I've already made my stance on him. If he gets sentenced to death, I won't lose any sleep over that. The guy's an idiot, and in no way, shape, or form is representative of white people. Matter of fact, the concept of the white supremacist is such a joke. They're so small. They keep crying about the Ku Klux Klan all the time. The Ku Klux Klan are a joke, a shell of organization, what they used to be. But yet black folks try to act and bring them up as if the Ku Klux Klan or the Ku Klux Klan of the 1920s or something. It's stupid. But he hasn't had a trial as of yet, so we don't know what happens to that. But you think that he's going to get out walk scot-free? But black folks who really believe that. Then he goes on about Ethan Crumbley. Now Ethan Crumbley was the kid who shot the students in Oxford High School. He shot up white kids though. So why would you use an example of a white kid shooting up other white kids as an example of white supremacists? When he also go shoot up some black kids somewhere, black people? Again, this goes to show you how ridiculous this argument of race is. They gotta go crying about white supremacy. They got to take an example of a white person killing white people as evidence that we as black people need to be concerned about these white supremacists. That's just going to show you how far they have to reach to try to make race out of something. Meanwhile, Phill Scott, not surprisingly, continue to ignore all these examples of mass shootings of blacks killing people, blacks on black murder. They continue to ignore this. That's why I say I just don't understand how black people can be so dumb and blind to keep falling for this nonsense. I guess the brainwashing is just too extensive among black people for them to be able to see past truth, to the point that you have people who are PhDs and well-accomplished people who are still supporting and pushing the nonsense. Again, I just don't understand the foolishness, but there is zero evidence that we as black people need to be worried about some damn jokes and memes from white supremacists. White supremacists are not killing black people in the streets of our community every day. We are. So when you see an N-word and any of these ninjas put up white supremacy or these jokes and memes, then you should be concerned because they're the ones that's out here doing the most nonsense. But anyway, this is my 2 cents on it. Just to show you how stupid people can be and how the race hustlers keep perpetuating race hustlers. They keep black people stuck on stupid. Yeah. I just can't wrap my brain around how ignoramus this is. But anyway, y'all, as always, until next time.